Hi, welcome to the Friday Night Disaster Report from Tri-RRR Services, where we explore what's gone wrong this week and what might go wrong next week. We always have fun, and sometimes we get things done. Well, we decided to pull the starter off because it's been missing once in a while, not engaging properly. So the old Bendix is working. She winds out there, but she should kind of go back in a little bit there. She's got to see if we can get a I think you can see the wiggle there. You got some wear in the bushings in the Bendix, so we might just get a new Bendix. We'll take it apart and see. And then we'll get a new ring gear for it. We might order one up, only I'm not super keen on pulling the engine on the old girl. Change the ring gear, but if we look down in there, them teeth are bent blunt right there, so we'll probably bar it over some, check some more of them, and we'll grind the burrs off. There's still lots of teeth there, it's just that they're ground back about a quarter of an inch, probably from the Bendix. Somebody's got a lot of grease and oil or just built up in there over the years. If anything light oil on there, you don't put grease on because then they get gummy. And some has got lots of gummy in there, so could just be cast off from the rear seal or something. That sprag clutch in there don't sound really healthy either, so we'll take it apart and give her an inspection. If anything really interesting shows up, then we'll bring you back, show you. Okay, kit come in this morning for the carb on the old Cockshuck 40. So we got a bunch of new stuff here, new throttle shaft, and just like the original one, we got quite a bit of play in it there, which is not a big surprise. We mic'd that up, it's 5/16 just like we thought it would be. And what we're going to do for setup is we're going to take our small hole gauge here and get a rough measurement. Which is 330 thou, which makes it 20 thou, just about 20 thou oversized from 5/16, which is about 310 thou. So what we're going to do is go on the lathe. We're going to make a mandrel that's 330 thou. Should check the other side here and see if it's what it is. And then we're going to put the collet in the mill so that we can clamp onto the mandrel, and then use that as a positioner to get the center of the hole for boring out through the throttle shaft holes. Then we'll make ourselves a set of bushings and press in there with probably a 1/4 inch hole in them. Then we'll make a 1/4 inch mandrel, and we'll use that to center it up when we put it back in the mill. Then we can take and drill it out to 5/16. So with this 318.5, so we're only 8 thou oversized on the On the other side, and that side's got the cap on it anyways, so we can't get a vacuum leak through there even if we wanted to. This side actually has a couple of seals that go in here, and then the cap goes on that the throttle shaft goes through. So we could just put the two seals in and put the cap in, put the shaft in, and that would make it tight for the time being. But seeing as how we got the equipment, we might as well put a bushing in there to support the shaft. See on the old shaft here, she's wore right in here where she was running. That's why we've got a new shaft. Easier than trying to build one of these for the price of it. So we'll make a mandrel and go from there. Okay, one thing I'm doing here is all the little bolts that hold the top on the carburetor, the two halves of the carburetor together, are all burred up over the years from wrenches and screwdrivers and whatever. So I'm just deburring all the way around, just with a fine file, knocking off all them little divots and burrs and all that stuff, so that they're actually flat. And just little detail, I guess. Do it to all the screws when I'm doing any carburetors pretty much, so it looks like it's supposed to. You can see that one there's really hammered up. I don't know what they were using on it. We'll get her back into a proper hex. So 3/8 wrench or a screwdriver, either one. Screwdriver's usually better because then you don't over tighten them. When you have to take them apart again, they come out easy. Just go around until we get everything even here. Make sure it doesn't rotate in your fingers and you end up with a round-headed bolt when you're not supposed to. And that's really been mashed up, so we'll flatten it out a little bit. So at least it looks like a bolt, not a badly formed mushroom. Okay, and then down in the groove, we got a blind side on the file here, so just go down in there. Clean that up a little bit. Get it so that she's not catching anywhere around the top. Might take a hacksaw blade later and just gently Go down in them grooves just to dress them up a little bit. And do this till while the paint's first coat of paint's drying on the main part of the carburetor. You just got it setting together. Old hand likes to cramp up, so I'm holding these little screws. Spurs off around the edges here. See what she looks like. And there we got a usable screw again. It'll look half decent. Okay, so now we're going to try to put this underdrive onto that shaft without giving ourselves a hernia or anything. See what happens here now. Is this the way I want it? Might not have been more as much as I thought they were. Well, sir, it's going in the right direction. There we go. Okay, now this is going to be a whole world of fun, isn't it? Stay. What we're going to do is go in between here and here and put some blocks in there. This end here has got like a more than 1/8 of an inch of play in it. This end isn't worse bad, but it's because it doesn't have the other end is where the drive pulley goes for the motor. Stay balanced there, you. Okay. Now see what we got for a measurement here, somewhere around 4 inches. Yeah, what is it, 4 1/4? There's goat. Oh, of course, that end has to be right above. Where we don't want it to be, so we'll come down here. Down here, so shining in our eyes. A little 5.5. I'd say 4 1/4 and 5.5. Now, maybe we should take the high road and make some custom blocks and just have to shim them. How does that sound? Well, we'll come back when something else exciting happens. Okay, we got the boring bar going in the lathe. We got the underdrive for the south bend set up here. We took some 1, 2, 3 blocks and used them as screw jacks on some feet on some 2-inch bar across the lathe. The other end we just set it right up on the carriage waves in front of the cross slide. Same thing with the screws for your jacks to get her somewhat straight and level. Use 1 1/4 inch shaft for a boring bar. That centered us up. Now we're just running the cutter through until we get her out to 1.5 inches. I'll show you some more of that bar when we're readjusting it here. We had to make some custom T-nuts to go in here because that's not a standard size. Those are about 200 thousandths high on the sides and 1 inch wide, so regular T-nuts won't fit in there, so we made our own piece of square tubing across the top to clamp her all down. Seems to be doing the trick. We'll have concentric holes anyways. We're just taking light cuts, taking our time, spinning her at 117, feeding her pretty slow, and I think she'll work. And we have a completed adjuster bolt. We're not quite completed, we're going to have to put keyways in it yet, but this one actually fits. See if we can get a decent picture of it. Use the 3-wire method to make sure my threads were sufficiently deep. And it seems to have worked, because when we put it in here and turn it counterclockwise, it threads in. And there's just a shade of wiggle in there, but we'll live with that because these things tend to seize up anyways, so we're going to put a good amount of anti-seize on it and hope that with the extra clearance, there's a vice grip sitting there when we're turning it in. Just left a little nub on so we have something to hold on to. Make sure that we're got a fit on it that'll work, and we will see that little bit of clearance is not going to hurt anything. It's just got to hold the shoe out against the return springs. So it looks like we've been successful with this one. I'm going to make another one the same, and then we'll have to cut keyways in it. and well, we'll knock that little nub off, but that's not a big deal. You can do that with a file or a grinder or whatever. So we now have a formula, as long as we can remember it, to make these adjusters, because we'll probably have to do the other side before we're done with this truck. Because it came in as a brake's not working and known to be leaking in the front wheel cylinders, so we rebuilt the front wheel cylinders and bled the brakes and found the master cylinder was leaking profusely. So we rebuilt the master cylinder and got enough pressure in the brakes that they were pumped up nice, except for the pedal was real low. So it would pump up, which means rear adjusters were not adjusted, so we tried to adjust them. They were seized. We pulled the back tires or back hubs off, and sure enough, everything's seized up. And the wheel cylinder's leaking. So we had to order cup seals for those. And now we're rebuilding the adjusters because they were seized up. We heated them and everything, nothing. Freed them up. So we carry on. Okay, see here we got our star wheel done up. A couple of fillings in there. Raised her up and filed her out to make new teeth. Got the drive cogs here dressed up so that she slides on. Half decent. Slides up and down and engages pretty good there. See there and there. So I'm just going to dress the other one up a little bit. Don't have to fix any teeth on it, and then we start putting everything back together finally. Okay, we got all our new plug wires on here, new spark plugs in. The plug wires come with one end unfinished, this end unfinished, and you can make them to your custom lengths. So we got that done. Coil wire, we made a new wire up to go from the distributor to the coil because it was basically a bare wire run up there. So that's this side of the tractor finished up. And over on this side we got our starter all done up here, all painted up nice. Carburetors all back together, seems to be working okay. Then we put a couple of new wires on our generator, run them back, and we remounted our regulator back here. It was mounted up on the side of the hood, which was kind of odd, but anyways, we'll put some loom on them wires one of these days. But it works, it charges. So we'll fire it up here and show you how she runs. Okay. You're just hoping to go home and get some supper, aren't you? Where are you going? You're on the wrong side of the camera here. Come on over here. feel like I'm already here. Camp, look over here. No, don't walk over there. Oh, here we go. Okay, so I would call that success. Starts and runs. Does what a tractor's supposed to do. Gonna have a full video on making the adjuster pins for the grain truck, so that'll be coming out after this one. You can tune in and see all the machining that we did to get those done up and how they work.